This video is powered by YouTube memberships and Patreon. See the link in the description and learn how you can support videos like this. Tommy Vercetti knew what he needed to do. Sonny Forelli made that perfectly clear. Tommy needed to get back the money and the drugs that were taken from him in the drug heist. To do that, he needs to understand this town and the people in it. In doing so, he meets many strange and wonderful people, all with problems of their own. In doing the work to make Sonny whole, Tommy discovers that this town is ripe for the taking. And with a bit of work and a bit of cooperation, Vice City can be his. You can watch that story in the link below, but this video is about the people that helped him along the way. Gang leaders, business managers, rock bands. Like the video if you do, subscribe if you haven't, and settle in as we discover 7 incredible stories in the world of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Things are unpredictable in Vice City. The weather is no different. The bridge connecting the city's islands were closed due to a hurricane warning. It was after Tommy Vercetti got an in with Ricardo Diaz that the bridges were fully open again. Now, Tommy was on his way across South Bridge from Ocean Beach due to an invitation. An invitation from Umberto Robina.
Hey Leo, I got some work for you.
This ain't Leo.
He hoped to reach Leo Teal when he called.
Idiot!
Leo's not around anymore, and he left his phone behind. Lucky for Tommy, because he is making some good contacts through it.
You kill Leo? You must have big cojones. Wanna work for me? Come by my father's cafe in Little Havana, and we'll talk mano y mano.
Tommy has things to do, of course. Sonny's money and drugs aren't going to find themselves. But he needs money himself, and it can't hurt to meet as many criminal minds as possible in Vice City. Little Havana, a vibrant neighbourhood. Moments from the airport. Over the bridge from Ocean Drive and Starfish Island, overlooking the same fine sea views. It doesn't have the opulent real estate that Starfish has, however, but it does have bustling industry, with businesses such as Fudge Packing Corp, Cherry Popper's Ice Cream Factory, textile vendors like Little Havana Streetwear, and food and beverage concerns like Cafe Robina Cubano. This cafe, arguably the hub of this passionate community, owned and operated by Alberto Robina, aided by his son Umberto. For 2 years, this neighbourhood has been claimed exclusively by the Cubans as their own. Their gang, called the Cabrones, and their boss is Umberto Robina. This cafe, their headquarters.
You the boy? You the boy? I think so, you know.
No, I don't think I do.
You think you can play stupid with me? You dress like a woman? You got on panties like a woman too, huh?
Umberto likes to appraise his new recruits, intimidate, and test their mettle.
What do you got against women?
I like all women. I love my mother, Chico.
All right, I'll take your word for it. Relax.
Looks like Tommy passed the test.
Can you drive, amigo?
Yeah, like a woman.
I like you, big boy. Maybe you can help. Take out the boat. Show me you got some big cojones and not some little bitty chiquita ones.
Tommy's character was checked now to check his driving skills. He is to meet one of Umberto's men, Rico. From the top down in Umberto's enterprise, it's crucial that everyone is and constantly proves that they are the man. And they have cojones.
You the man with the big cojones?
A checkpoint race will decide this for the Cubans. They start at Leaf Links, and Tommy navigates the canals and waterways of Vice Point at speed.
Call yourself a man?
Taking jumps and hitting the checkpoints.
Amigo, you're the man! You the man! I like you, man! Anytime, man, cause you got cojones, and all my friends, they got big cojones! You got big cojones, amigo.
Tommy Vercetti is the man with the cojones that Umberto needs right now. because the cabrones and their neighborhood is under threat. 2 years ago, Umberto's gang took Little Havana from the Cholas once and for all, and have held it ever since. But their rivalry with the Haitians is growing, and their gang is looking to take ground. Little Haiti borders Little Havana, and their feud is a tempest that has been long brewing and has only recently started to boil over. But who turned up the heat? Umberto would never find out, and Tommy Vercetti won't be the one to tell him.
Now, nothing brings down real estate prices quicker than a good old-fashioned gang war.
Not long ago, while working for his contact Avery Carrington, Tommy stoked the fires of this rivalry to Avery's benefit.
Now, recently a gang lord died. You disguise yourself and head on down and crash the funeral.
Dressed as a Cuban gang member, Tommy attacks the funeral procession, killing the Haitian mourners, leaving them no choice but to retaliate.
And then we'll just sit back and watch the prices tumble.
It was while Tommy was still in his Cuban gang disguise that Umberto first called. Tommy doesn't mind, and here he has inadvertently made some for himself. Tommy is in with the Cubans, and they are going to need him because the Haitians are on the attack.
Papi, un gran problema.
Umberto, my son, what happened?
They messed with me for the last time. Try for me again. Take my boys over there. If they mess with me, they mess with the biggest boy in town.
Tommy is to drive the cabrones
We're gonna fight like men.
to Little Haiti, a short drive north, less affluent, run down. The Haitians operate a drug manufacturing plant here, all orchestrated by their gang leader, the mysterious Aunty Poulet. Tommy and the Cubans are here to hit the factory,
Charge!
but the Haitians are ready for them. The Cubans can break through the first wave, but
They fight like girls. Take cover.
while reinforcements arrive, Tommy takes action.
Take out that cowardly sniper.
With this threat neutralised, they can push forward, take a van of merchandise. A sizable dent has been made in the Haitians' drug ring. They return south to the cafe with the van to regroup. Tommy gets a payday, but this has in no way ended the war. Tommy would leave Umberto to formulate their next move. Days later, when Tommy arrives at the cafe to hear the next stage of the plan, Tommy is confused at Umberto's opening statement.
You're two-faced, Tommy. You're either two-faced or you're a wimp, baby boy.
Umberto doesn't qualify this statement because he doesn't have the proof, and Tommy remains in the dark. Umberto has heard a rumour that Tommy is working for the Haitians at the same time as working for him, but without certainty, he's let it go for now. Tommy would refute this if asked directly, but he'd be wrong. He was working for the Haitians. But Aunty Poulet has a way with voodoo and chemicals, and due to this, he has no memory of it whatsoever. Umberto is clearly shaken by this war. The Haitians are out of control.
They're laughing at me, Tommy, at me. They're doing whatever they like.
Nobody does whatever they like, Umberto. They do what you let them do.
What? Tommy, you a real man. They have a load of product coming in offshore. Really good stuff. We take it, and we finish them. You take it, and I look after you, like my son.
I think I prefer the cash to being bounced on your knee, amigo.
Another well-paid, dangerous job for Tommy, but this doesn't sound like a move that will end this war. It's just another battle, a smash and grab. Tommy has had experience with ambushed drug deals before. Tommy meets Rico, another boat ride.
Now you be a good shot today.
They pull up alongside the shipment and open fire. Stepping ashore, Tommy takes down far more Haitians than he bargained for. Under fire, he takes the cash and the drugs, and with the boat destroyed, Tommy takes a nearby landstalker and makes his escape. Not easy, Umberto's reward, hard-earned. Umberto is delighted at the progress they are making against the Haitians. He's relaxed and even finds time for his other passions.
Hey, ladies, I'm going to make love like a man. You know that, chica? Something like this.
Gross.
No matter the way Umberto sees it, one final push and their war is won.
Umberto Robina, he likes the ladies, not some goat in a skirt.
He's pleased to see Tommy.
Tommy, I love you. I love you. Tommy, how do you take out a snake? You bite him in the ass.
He has a plan to finish the Haitians once and for all.
You go and get us a little car. When you get it, come back and pick up my boy, Pepe, and take them out to such and such, their processing plant.
Whoa, man, you drive like a crazy bitch.
Tommy, use their solvent as an explosive. Boom! Bye-bye!
As Tommy knew this was their final push, he hoped to have his new comrade join him, for the Cuban boss to be on the front lines to see this war won.
What about you?
I'm going to stay behind and watch over the cafe with Papa. He's not feeling so good, you know?
Tommy and the Cubans meet with their stolen voodoos, cars favoured by the Haitians.
Follow my compadres.
These cars, their ticket inside the factory without gunfire. Once the Cuban muscle is inside, they can make their move.
I'm going to plant the bomb. Cover me.
At Umberto Robina's request, Tommy plants the charges in all corners of the factory, taking out the retaliating Haitians as he goes. With the countdown set, but the way out blocked, Tommy seeks distance just in time to watch the show. The Haitians were beaten, but not eradicated. They would not mess with the Cubans for a while, but that did not extend to Tommy. He'd never be safe in Little Haiti or its surrounding area again. For Tommy, it's worth it. His biggest payday for a while. Money sorely needed for the months ahead. For now, Umberto can rest easy. His gang, his neighbourhood, and his father's cafe is safe for the time being. Tommy and Umberto wouldn't work together again, but he's welcome in Little Havana any time.
I wanted to tell you, me and Papi, to us, you're Cuban. You got big cojones.
Well, thank you, Umberto. Nobody said that to me since I left jail. See you around.
Tommy Vercetti has been busy in Vice City since he arrived. He's hot on the trail of Sonny Forelli's drugs and Lance Vance's money, but he's always glad of extra income to fund his expenses here in Vice. It was after Tommy first got in with the Cubans that Tommy first gets a call from Aunty Poulet. Most new voices that call this cell are after speaking to its previous owner, Leo Teal, not Aunty Poulet. She knows exactly who Tommy is, who he is working for, and what he is capable of.
Tommy, thought you might need something to make you feel better. So Auntie Poulet make you some stew, eh? Come and check me kitchen sometime, okay, Tommy?
Maybe it was the cadence of her voice, the maternal tone, or the promise of a home-cooked meal, but Tommy was compelled without thinking to attend Aunty Poulet's shack in Little Haiti. Over the next few days and nights in Vice City, Tommy would give himself over to the Haitian gang leader, do everything she would ask of him, and eventually walk away with no memory whatsoever of his actions. This is the story of Aunty Poulet and the lost chapter of Tommy Vercetti. Tommy was not himself. Perhaps even before he arrived at Aunty Poulet's shack for the first time. On crossing the threshold, his departure from himself only increased further.
Whoa, whoa.
Come in, my dear, and rest your soul.
Her requests, although perfectly reasonable, Tommy found impossible not to comply with. Taking a seat, drinking her tea.
Now you do all Auntie Poulet a turn, and maybe she help you. Maybe she can give you a little juju, give you some magic to give the lawman the stink eye.
Look, this is all very, give me what?
The stink eye? To bestow bad fortune on the cops for the work that would come next. It's a skill they both could do with. For the police of Vice City are closing in on Aunty Poulet's Haitian gang.
The nasty proud foo-foos been making my boys shake their heads. Now they told the policeman where me been stashing my powders. Now be a good boy, Tommy, and go and get the powders for Auntie Poulet.
Yeah, sure.
It's unclear exactly when Tommy entered his obedient trance, when he became the puppet for Aunty Poulet. Was it the hypnosis in her voice on the phone? Was it something in the incense she burned? Or the tea she insisted he drink? Likely, it was all three. Aunty Poulet is a master of manipulation, an expert in potions, powders, and the occult. Skills that have likely led to the Haitian gang's success in recent years. What Tommy would have missed within Aunty Poulet's richly flavoured Haitian Creole is that the Cubans were the reason for the current heat on the Haitian stashes. The Cubans had given the cops the location. Cops, SWAT, and FBI agents are posted on them, all waiting for Haitian hands to pick them up so they can make their arrests and take down this burgeoning drug ring. But Aunty Poulet didn't need to put any of her men in danger. She now had Tommy. Tommy takes a Haitian voodoo and gets to work. The spell he was under wouldn't aid his driving skills.
Get out the way!
But it also would not dampen his laser focus on the task. Tommy arrives at the first location, near to the city scrapyard, and takes the first package.
Don't move a muscle, chump!
Under fire from SWAT, and with grateful Haitian gang members looking on with interest, Tommy escapes. On to the next location, and the next, and uses the back streets to return to Aunty Poulet. The authorities made a fool of. It was probably sheer audacity that got the better of them in the end. They did not expect one man with one car to retrieve the drugs in one hit, but that's why Tommy is here. Little Haiti wouldn't win any beauty contests. Legitimate businesses are scarce. Poverty is numerous. City planners had tried to rejuvenate the area and rebrand it as a coastal resort. But when that failed, any further funding for its upkeep was pulled. Buildings stayed derelict. Junk cars lay abandoned. But one thing does thrive here. The Haitian solvent factory, churning out powder at increasing rates. With the Haitians' recent success in narcotics and Little Haiti sitting right next door to Little Havana, a rivalry was growing between Aunty Poulet's gang and Umberto Robina's Cuban gang. And more recently, Tommy had a hand in igniting this rivalry into an all-out war. Both of these gangs paled in comparison to the mighty Colombians, of course, but what territory there was left to fight for, they would now do so fiercely. The Cubans are stronger and more established, so Tommy's help is vital for Aunty Poulet. To dent the Cubans' power, she has a plan. This all seems very new to Tommy.
Oh, sorry, I must have the wrong address.
Well, you might as well come in and rest your souls and have some tea.
A chance for Aunty Poulet to top up Tommy's dosage.
Now, Tommy, I'm going to whisper a little errand for you. Hear me well, aye? Them have fast boats they use to cross the seas with drugs. It is their livelihood. Me nephew been making little flying bombs to take them out. Blow the boats to coffin wood.
Thanks for the tip.
Tommy loves variety in how he gets a job done. Explosives are a real favourite, especially remote-controlled ones. He has fond memories of working for Avery Carrington using an RC helicopter. Tommy would have no memory of using this RC Baron. In their long-term business strategy, it seems the Haitians have an advantage over the Cubans. Where the Haitians manufacture their drugs locally, the Cubans import their drugs from across the water. Their profit margins will forever be hit by travel costs and loss of product to the sea. Aunty Poulet means to increase their inventory shortfall, here with Tommy. Tommy drops his payload on both the harbour and the Cuban boats on the water. This will hurt Los Cabrones. During this time, Tommy was unknowingly helping the Haitians in this war. Tommy was willingly helping the Cubans. Umberto Robina would never find out for sure, but he would have his suspicions.
You're two-faced, Tommy. You're either two-faced or you're a wimp, baby boy.
The Cubans would try many methods to combat the Haitian threat. Their latest attempt is to throw down a gauntlet.
Hello? Hello?
Tommy arrives again confused at his surroundings and his host.
Do I know you?
Still under Auntie Poulet's spell.
One more thing and I can let you go, Tommy. My boys gone war with them boys, but no guns.
The Cubans have challenged the Haitians to a street fight. No weapons, just fists and honor.
While they fight in the streets, you will take this rifle. No one sees you, no one hears you. You do this for me, and you're no longer tied to my apron strings.
Okay, Auntie.
The Cubans arrive in Little Haiti in droves for what they hope is an end to this rivalry. In arranging this fight, they believe they have the strength and the numbers, but in this fight, at this moment, they don't have Tommy. Tommy picks off the Cubans from afar, giving the Haitians a clear edge. Even with incoming reinforcements, the Haitians win the day, and the surviving Cubans return to Cafe Robina to lick their wounds and formulate their next plan. This is the last time Auntie Poulet would use Tommy in this war of theirs. It's unclear why she no longer sees a need for him. Auntie Poulet is a woman of mystery and contradiction. She knows Tommy works for the Cubans and other factions, and in knowing this, she should dispose of him, but she won't. She drugged Tommy to do her bidding, but still paid him for his time and expertise. Are the reasons for this ill thought out, or are they driven by respect of Tommy, respect of the work? Or is this her own moral compass at work? The reasons why she lets him go remain unclear. Whatever the reason, it would be a decision she would live to regret. When the spell had worn off, and Tommy would next enter Little Haiti, he would receive a call from Auntie Poulet, a voice that seemed new to him.
Tommy, why you coming back here, fee? Me tell you we don't want to see you around here no more.
Tommy would never know who that voice was. He would never remember the work he carried out for the Haitians, but he appreciated the heads up all the same. Tommy really would not be welcome in Little Haiti ever again. It's been days since Tommy took this cell phone from the body of Leo Teal. He had no idea how valuable it would be to him, vital to his business for a start. But also for Leo Teal's contacts that would call for help with their own businesses.
Hey, Leo, I got some work for you.
People like Umberto Robina and Auntie Poulet. He usually puts them straight.
This ain't Leo.
Explains the situation.
Maybe I killed Leo and took his phone. Did you ever think of that, prick?
And offers his help for their bespoke needs. But when this voice calls...
Get to the payphone next to the mall in Washington.
Tommy chooses to stay silent, to wait to hear what he had to say. After all, it could be interesting. With curiosity, he heads to the mall and lifts the ringing receiver.
Mr. Teal, your help in eradicating those out-of-towners was invaluable to business. I have more work for you with a more hands-on approach. Your next job is taped under the phone.
Again, Tommy stays silent, to wait and see what the note says. Strange. It sounds simple. To kill Karl Pearson, a pizza delivery man, while delivering pizza? He may as well do the job. It might lead to more. Tommy doesn't need to know the details, but he'd rather not kill civilians unless he has to. Hoping there is more to Karl than his pizzas, Tommy starts to hunt the streets of Vice. Karl has 50 pizzas to deliver. Tommy knows how that feels, having delivered a few of his own when he first arrived in town. But his bank balance is looking better these days. Tommy is to kill him before he delivers his last. He catches sight and gives chase. This isn't the right car for this job. Blunt force trauma with a Phoenix was the best tool for this job today. Not a huge payday, but a start. If they're all this straightforward, he'd definitely take on more work for this guy. It's not long before he calls.
Get to the payphone in Vice Point. My compliments on a job well done, Mr. Teal. My client was very pleased. Your next job is taped under the phone.
The voice still thinks it's Mr. Teal. Tommy will never know his name. The Vice City Bureau of Investigation know him as Mr. Black, but know so little else about him that it barely fills an index card. To them, he is a possible money launderer and is believed to run a hitman business. Tommy is fully aware of the latter and decides to take on this next job. But again, it's not the type of mark he's comfortable with hitting. Someone's wife. Exiting a jewelry store in Vice Point, Tommy needs to use a car this time, as it needs to look like an accident. Tommy can deduce what's behind this hit. A husband looking for a less expensive kind of separation. Tommy systematically rams the wife's yellow Comet from the road.
Oh my God!
Damaging to the point of combustion. This was a bigger payday. $2,000. That's more like it. The nature of these targets nags at Tommy, but this money helps. In Tommy's brief conversations, he would find out little more about Mr. Black than the feds. It's clear he wasn't a native English speaker, but he couldn't place the accent.
Get to the payphone next to the mall in Washington.
It's obvious he's cautious and meticulous, mixing up the payphone locations, not showing his face ever. It's hard to believe that a man this careful doesn't know exactly who he's talking to. Tommy has made many moves in Vice, his name is well known. Maybe he intuits it suits them both to stay anonymous. As long as jobs are done and jobs are paid, both can be satisfied. Tommy shut down his moral compass for the first two jobs. A pizza guy, a spouse. This next job was in a sphere Tommy was far more comfortable with.
The European gang plans to hit a bank in Vice City. My employees would rather this didn't happen. Each member of the gang has a cover while they are here in Vice City. Some have menial jobs, others are on vacation. Each target and their likely whereabouts are taped under the phone.
Mr. Black leaves a scoped rifle to do the deed and a PCJ 600 to expedite the process. Tommy gets to work. 5 targets out in the city doing everyday things. A bill poster, security van drivers, car cuddlers, yacht tycoons, ocean beach cruisers. Something occurred to Tommy as he mopped the streets of Vice City for his employer. What if this wasn't a European gang at all? What if they were actually just everyday people like the 2 previous? What if they were 5 separate jobs or even just random people and Mr. Black was just exploring Tommy's capabilities? Pushing him to see if he can kill 5 people in 7 minutes in a busy, police-protected town, testing Tommy for what would come next. If it was a test, Tommy had passed.
Get to the payphone at the airport terminal.
For this next job, Mr. Black will need his best man. Having been tried and tested, he's confident he has him. Tommy doesn't mind hard work, but Mr. Black seems to demand his attention at the most inopportune times, while grabbing lunch, shopping, thinking about a swim. But as usual with Mr. Black, he stays silent. This isn't a simple job on the street. This involves being discreet, disguised, and in one of the most protected and policed locations in Vice City. The Escobar International Airport.
Time to fry bigger fish, Mr. Teal.
Mr. Black has stashed a rifle for Tommy nearby, and in this job, Tommy has a colleague.
Watch the woman standing on the balcony above the check-in desk. She will walk through the crowd and ask someone the time.
That someone is Tommy's target. Tommy takes out his bodyguard, then the man. Next,
Retrieve the case and and takes it to the location taped under the phone.
Tommy leaves the terminal evading police via the pay and spray, then evading the avenging bodyguards of the man just assassinated. Tommy makes it to the drop-off point at an ammunition downtown. A great payday. This is the type of job he thrives on. A dangerous man taking down dangerous men. Mr. Black would also be delighted. Tommy has achieved everything asked of him, even as the job scaled in both complexity and risk.
Get to the payphone in Little Havana.
The final job Mr. Black has for Tommy is a job perhaps only Tommy could do. Mr. Black has loose ends. Tommy can tie them up.
There is a valuable exchange taking place on the roof of the Cherry Popper Ice Cream Company. Kill everyone involved, steal the merchandise and take it to a helipad at the airport. There is a gate to your left that leads to the back of the factory.
This is an exchange so valuable that it takes scores of dark-suited men. A faction Tommy had never come across in Vice City before. Were these the same men that chased him from the airport? Mr. Black's instruction? To kill everyone. The compound behind Cherry Popper's ice cream factory, a known front for drug distribution. Maud Hansen's ice cream vans cruise the streets dealing to those that know. These could be her partners, or her bosses resupplying, or them just using the compound to do a larger deal. Tommy is to kill everyone on sight, to leave no survivors. There must be no loose ends. This is a gauntlet for Tommy, the likes of which he's not yet seen. Through the first wall, onto the adjoining buildings, past the iconic cherry-topped, ice-creamed peaks. What if this was Mr. Black's plan all along? What if every one of these previous jobs was just a test? To get a sense of his man, in order for Mr. Black to complete his plan long in the making. Maybe this job is Mr. Black's final job, his magnum opus, to disappear, his exit strategy. Tommy makes it to the main roof, watching out for the concealed men, enacting the deal. These suited men look to be dealing with the street wannabes, a gang Tommy thought he dealt with already in his work for Ricardo Diaz. All men dead. Tommy takes the merchandise and uses the Maverick atop the roof to fly to the helipad at Escobar Airport. Tommy with a payday to be proud of. The more Tommy thought about it, the more it made sense. This was Mr. Black's plan all along. This was his final job, to kill the men, take the prize, have it delivered to the airport rendezvous. Mr. Black to arrive shortly after and escape into the sunset. Rich and safe and out of vice. Just a theory. Tommy would never know. All he knew is that this was a job well done. He made over 30 grand in total from his dealings with Mr. Black, and this would support his cause, his magnum opus, his exit strategy to get out from the threat of the Forelli gang and become the king of Vice City. Untouchable. Ken Rosenberg has been a friend to Tommy ever since he arrived here in Vice City. He has set up jobs, made connections, and helped him settle into this town. Now that Tommy has toppled Ricardo Diaz and his Colombian drug enterprise, he is on the brink of greatness. And he could not have done it without him. If Tommy was to call anyone a friend, it would be Ken. That is why Tommy puts him in charge of his next valuable operation. To take that last step towards being king of Vice City, Tommy needs to galvanize his power. To get and keep power, you need money and the promise of more. To develop many revenue streams, to own assets. Tommy had already bought the boatyard and BJ Smith's car dealership to help with that. Tommy's next idea was buying up the city's most eminent nighttime destination, the Malibu Club. not only for the legitimate revenue it produces and the opportunity to clean drug money, but as a base of operations for a plan Tommy has had in his head for a long time. A plan to carry out the biggest heist that this city has ever seen. To raid one of the most secure and protected spots in Vice City. To rob Little Havana's El Banco Corrupto Grande. The Malibu Club in Vice Point, grandiosely positioned on the banks of the city's canal, on the chicane of the famous Ocean Drive where cars need slow down in veneration to pass it. Not many pass it at night. The most popular dancing spot in the city where the richest and most connected revelers spend their cash. Tommy has been here before a few times. Not that dancing and drinking are things he does much of. He came here to meet a regular of the club, Kent Paul.
Whatever you want, I'll get you, Gil.
Kent is as connected as anyone in Vice City, and he has pointed the way for Tommy on many occasions. It was from Kent that Tommy first got the tip for the heist.
I reckon you're going to owe me a favour or two out of this, sunshine. I'll see you later.
A heist only a fool, or a sizable, skilled and meticulously trained crew would do. Buying the Malibu was the first step towards completing the heist. The business made good money, and the books would launder more, but the club's private rooms would make the perfect base of operations. Tommy had tasked Ken Rosenberg with its refurbishment and kitting it out for their needs. And Ken didn't do things by halves.
Look at this. This is great. I've got us this minibar installed.
We got a whole bar downstairs, Ken.
Decoration, soft furnishings, even a scale replica of a boat to honour their absent friend Juan Cortez, who left on the boat it represents.
Well, I got the chalkboard you asked for.
This would be key to outline plans. Tommy has his staging room. Now he needs his crew. The cornerstone of this crew will be a safe man, and for this job, he'll need a genius.
Safe. I got it. This guy will blow you away.
Cam Jones is one of the best safecrackers in the business. His front for this enterprise is Cam's Can Openers on the edge of Viceport. Except he's not there anymore. He's about to have a new home for the next decade. He was caught during a robbery and has received 10 years for his crime. But he's not at his final destination yet. He's
in a police headquarters cell awaiting transfer.
I think he's about to get paroled.
Tommy hasn't time to make do. He needs Cam Jones, his best chance of pulling off this job. Because this job is not just any bank heist. The bank is tough to crack, well protected, with hair-trigger security systems, but that's not the dangerous part. Tommy targets a particular safe deposit box with untold, unmarked, untraceable cash within it. The box is owned and managed by the city's SWAT. Their unofficial retirement fund, a stash of all the bribes and drug money seizures Vice City's finest has taken over the years. Something for them to look forward to after their 30 years are up. They will not take kindly to losing that and will not rest to recover it if lost. That's why he needs the best, to do it quickly and be gone with the wind. Tommy needs Cam Jones so much, he's going to break him out. He figures they're so busy protecting the city they won't think to protect their own shop. It's easy to get into the locker rooms, and easier now dressed as a cop to access their main office. The line between cop and crook never more blurred. They're too wrapped up in the uniformity of their own day to notice this uniform take a key card. Head to the basement and open a cell door.
Cam Jones?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm busting you out.
Whatever you say.
The station is alerted. Tommy takes out who he needs to and with his man exits the way he came. From blue to green, Tommy drops Cam off at his safe house. He knows the price of his freedom.
I'm gonna be doing a job, and you're my safecracker.
Beats losing my ass in his cell.
They will reconvene later at the Malibu Club. El Banco Corrupto Grande is the largest bank in the city. Tommy will need more to his crew to pull this off. The deposit box safe is situated on the top floor, accessed by a lift up on the mezzanine. He needs 2 more guys, one with muscle and firepower to keep the foyer locked down, and one circling the block outside with the getaway car. They need to be out of there before anyone is alerted and away. Tommy heads to the Malibu.
We need a stick-up man, you know one?
Hey, Tommy, this stuff keeps you sharp, man. Woo! I could be your stick-up man. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up!
You ain't a stick-up man, you're an idiot. Now get yourself a drink and shut up.
Ken's substance abuses have increased since Tommy came to town. It started off to settle the nerves and bypass the fear of what he was caught up in. And after the Vercetti gang took the biggest coke operation in the city from the Colombians, he couldn't see a reason to stop. It was on tap for him. Tommy sees no reason to stop him either. He continues to be the man in the know and vital to the organisation. But he can't be trusted with frontline operations. Both with and without coke. He's too jumpy.
Hey, get out of my way! Yeah. Ow.
Relax.
Cam, what do you think?
The best shooter in this town is a guy named Cassidy.
Is that so?
Yeah, a military guy, or thinks he is. I doubt he was ever in the army, but he certainly knows how to get a hold of guns. He'll be down at the shooting range.
There are 3 ammunitions in Vice City. One in Ocean Beach, he first visited with Lance. Another in the mall at Vice Point. But the one downtown is the only one with a shooting range.
You Phil Cassidy? Why? I'm looking for a man who can handle a gun.
Next to the word gun in the city's own dictionary would be the face of Phil Cassidy. He's obsessed with them. Munitions of any kind is all he thinks about. He collects them, tests them, both guns and explosives. He even sells them at his junkyard north of Little Haiti. If you ever caught him without a gun, it would have been prized from his
cold, dead hands.
But before he can agree to work with someone, he needs to play with them first.
That's huge.
Tommy's no stranger to a gun.
3, 2, 1, fire! Area clear!
Son, after shooting like that, if you asked me to be your wife, I'd say yes.
Tommy has his shooter, and it's Phil who knows where to find the last member of the crew.
We need a driver.
Tommy, I'll do it. I can drive.
You want Hillary, mister. Hillary's a real deal.
Hillary King, a known and renowned getaway driver. Currently operating, but he has had dealings with the law. The VCPD has a file on him and know him and his associates Cam and Phil. And they know his neuroses. He functions, but is crippled by his child traumas. He has anxiety, low self-worth. He seeks out abusive relationships. To soothe himself, other than compulsively eating, he craves speed and mastery over his vehicle. Phil gives him a call.
I got me a guy from up north. He wants a driver for a bit of action. Okay. Well, he'll do it, no problem. Well, there might be a little problem. See, he has abandonment issues. Seems he won't work for anyone who can't beat him.
Why can't I meet someone normal for a change?
I'll drive for you if, and only if, you can drive properly. Leave me alone, and I'll never forgive you.
If Tommy didn't need to be inside the bank, he would have chosen himself as driver. There are few that have escaped more scrapes behind the wheel than him. The race takes them through Vice Point, right at VCPD, where he broke out Cam, down into Ocean Beach, past Raphael's, where Ken sent him to smarten up to meet Cortez when he first arrived, past the Pole Position Club, where he dropped off Mercedes afterwards, and a place he has his eye on as a possible asset for the business. If he can pull off this heist, that might just fund it. Past the mall, past the office development he scuppered for Avery Carrington, and back into Vice Point, to where they started, at his Malibu club. Hillary on his tail, but beaten this time.
Okay, I'll drive for you, but please treat me bad.
Tommy's crew is complete. Time for the job. Time to rob the bank and Vice City's SWAT division. First, a pep talk.
As you can see, gentlemen, this is going to be the easiest buck we ever made.
Tommy, seriously, you gotta consider going into law.
What the hell are you smoking, man? This ain't no simple plan.
With a team like this, it's gonna be no problem.
We got Cam on safe. Phil, you and me will handle security, and Hillary will drive the getaway car. Ken here, he washes the money for us, and he keeps the drinks on ice.
With the enormity of the task, a pep talk of levity and brevity is the only thing to settle the nerves.
Keep driving around the block, okay?
They have their getaway in place, their guns, and their disguise.
We walk into the bank.
This is a raid!
We wave the gun around.
Nobody move! Everybody up against that wall!
Phil, hold down the fort. Come on, Cam, the vault's upstairs. And leave very rich men.
That's the plan, anyway.
Damn! It's a flangey 9000. This could take hours to crack. Or 5 minutes if you could find the manager.
You're coming with me.
Okay, just don't shoot.
Things still sweet?
Sure, everything's real quiet.
We just need your key code and we're good.
You try anything and you're dead. I'm gonna check on Phil. I'll be right back.
I told you not to touch that alarm! The SWAT team will be here any minute.
Tommy, the vault's open.
Vice City SWAT have a vested interest in El Banco Corrupto Grande. That minute comes sooner than they think.
You are completely surrounded.
This was not the plan.
They're storming the place! Take cover! Go! Shit! Where's Hillary? I'll give him abandonment issues.
But Hillary won't abandon them. He breaks through the barricade, loyal to the job, to his master.
Hey guys! Get in! I got you covered!
Hillary gives his life so his friends and his new employer can escape. Through the cops, breaking line of sight, seeking refuge at Cam's hideout, just north of the bank. Off the streets, in the money, but one man down.
We made it! We're rich! Rich! Yeah!
Kent Paul is there to congratulate them and himself for the tip.
What'd I tell you, Tommy? What'd I tell you? Ben Swat better watch out when Ken Paul is in town. Come on, give me a bit of a slice, mate. Come on, I've got to get some new threads.
Casualties are a risk these men accept, as is changing plans on the fly, but they did the job and have their prize. But they'll need to stay out of SWAT's way for a long while. This is just the start for Tommy and his stick-up crew. It's doubtful they'll ever do a job that big again, but the Malibu Club will serve as a base for future heists. And Ken will be there to oversee it. His base now. He much prefers it to his law office in Washington Beach. With future heists and the revenue from the club, this will contribute sizably to the war chest of the Vercetti gang. Money rolling in every day. Vice City was on the eve of a cultural phenomenon.
Good evening, Vice City!
The city and its fans are gearing up for the music event of the year.
The Monsters of Rock and Roll Excess.
A four-piece rock band sensation.
Who are appearing this week in Vice City as part of their world tour.
Lock up your daughters. Shoot your sons.
Dead!
The world tour that has been banned throughout the world comes to Vice City.
A band with legions of loyal, passionate, and desperate fans.
I think the singer was looking at me.
I'm a huge fan. I go to all your concerts. I get crazy.
The band's name?
Love Fist.
Who are performing a concert so crucial to their loyal followers, they have waited a long time for their favourite band to come to town.
I have 12 Love Fist t-shirts.
I wear my Love Fist t-shirt every day, even when I'm with my old lady.
Love Fist at the Vice City Arena. Brought to you by V-Rock.
But this concert is also crucial to the band members themselves. It's not an easy journey being in a famous rock band. Travel, grueling shows, infighting.
Shut up! I've been dragged back and held down and embarrassed by those guys, but you know, it's part of being in a band, man.
Managing crippling drug addictions.
I've been over to the other side, baby, and man, oh man, it's beautiful.
Uncertain record sales.
Is that because the new album didn't do so well in the UK?
It's that fascist Thatcher. I sing about working class people trying to make it through a tough life.
But all these trials pale into insignificance to a menace that threatens the concert, the city, and their very lives.
We're all breaking ourselves, man!
And there's only one man that can save them, Tommy Vercetti.
Hey guys, calm down, I'll handle this.
Tommy, son, have I got a surprise for you? I'm down at the recording studios with some major artists.
Tommy has no idea about the upcoming concert. He was far too busy with the city's underworld to care. But like everyone else, he has heard of them. They have plastered every radio in the States for years. He liked them.
Death metal love ballads that'll have you shoving your fists in the air.
With their catalogue of albums.
Devil's Own Band. Dogs on Heat. Fat Chicks All Day All Night.
With hits such as
Chin Stainer, Liver Buster, and Dangerous Man, Dead Family.
Zinc Deficiency. 4 boys against your face. Great tracks. What memories?
Tommy was oblivious to their presence in the city, but he wasn't oblivious to money and the jobs to get it. Kent Paul had come through before.
Why don't you pay us a visit? You know it makes sense, don't ya? See you later.
Kent and the band are at V-Rock Recording Studios on Hormont Avenue, downtown.
Yes! Brilliant, bloody brilliant! Hey, Tommy! Glad you could make it. Hey, you ever met Lovefist before?
No, I haven't, but I've always loved your music.
Let me introduce you to the band. This is Percy, Dick, and Willie's in the Kazi.
And their lead singer is a man Tommy had laid eyes on already. Jez Torrent was on Juan Cortez's party yacht that Tommy attended when he first arrived in Vice.
Do you know how they play ping pong? It's silent. It does not involve a paddle.
4 male members.
You're all Lovefist, the 4 Scottish horsemen of the apocalypse.
After years on tour, the band have been exposed to many of the trappings of rock nobility.
Big hair, the limousines, the girls, the partying, the clubs, the hotel suites.
And the alcohol and narcotics. But they have arrived in Vice at the wrong time. The drug production and distribution in the city have been heavily disrupted in recent times. The underworld hierarchy has also recently changed hands. Tommy is hard at work bringing the business back online, but product has yet to filter through to the streets, and pickings are slim. The band are worried.
What takes you up will take you down, man.
They are starting to jones and become agitated.
We need some drugs, pal!
And not just any drugs. For these seasoned abusers, only one in particular will hit the spot and return them to peak performance for their upcoming gig.
We need love juice men, gang!
2 parts boomshine, 1 part trumpet, 5 fizz bombs, and a litre of petrol. Can you help us out, pal?
Tommy can help with the trumpet that he surmises is cocaine and knows some people for the rest.
Looking for something special? I got what you need.
But as Tommy is well aware, people don't play it straight in Vice City.
Thanks for the money, sucker!
This dealer has obviously not got the memo on Tommy's stature in town at present. With the top item in their hierarchy of needs resolved, they look to the next level down.
Here, mate. The guys could do with some company, if you know what I mean.
I know just the girl.
Tommy didn't know many girls in Vice City. He was far too busy trying to retrieve Sonny Forelli's drugs, but he did meet one. A young libertine who liked to spectate and take part in the city's sex scene. He last saw her while dropping her off at the Pole Position strip club in Ocean Beach. Mercedes Cortez was Vice City's newest socialite. Rich, hedonistic, and down for whatever.
Hey, Mercedes.
Hiya, Tommy. And how are you?
You fancy having love fist?
Okay. But just as a favor, I expect returned.
It crossed his mind that her father, Juan Garcia Cortez, might not take kindly to him prostituting his daughter, but Tommy took Mercedes for someone who does not do anything she doesn't want to. And her father could only look on as his willful daughter does whatever she likes.
I see you later, big boy.
Later, Tommy returns.
Tommy, man, am I glad to see you.
What's going on?
Bad vibes, Tommy.
Whilst retreating from their highs, the band received a disturbing message. A threat.
But listen, this cat.
Yeah, the guy wants Love Fist dead.
The band do not know who it is, but this stalker knows everything about them. Things he couldn't possibly know.
Knows that Willie likes his ladies' underwear, eh? Or that Percy likes to.
Shut up, you fool! Just get jazz bomb shit!
Tommy doesn't understand or need to know the details.
Tommy, you got to save Love
We've got a
Fist.
sign-in in 2 hours, and I think...
Yeah, and the boys think the stalker's going to try some monkey business there.
The signing is taking place at Rock City, a music store just down the road. Tommy will take their limo, looking to draw out the stalker. Tommy had never driven a car like this before, and he never will again. This is Love Fist's one-of-a-kind bespoke limousine, a prized possession. He'll be careful.
And I almost took off my shirt.
I'll see Love Fist burn. Love Fist ruined my life.
The cross-dresser flees, still armed, in a waiting sentinel. Tommy gives chase. Tommy didn't try to see the logic in what just happened. A disgruntled fan kills a security guard and flees. It doesn't matter anymore. The problem lies dead on a downtown sidewalk. Love Fist can focus on the business of being Love Fist again. Focus on the upcoming gig.
Look, Tommy, I forgot to mention, we're going to need some extra muscle for the concert. A bit of security.
The band are glad this threat has gone, but know the next is just round the corner. To mitigate more problems, Kent Paul's idea is to use a local biker gang for added protection.
It would be great publicity. Very rock and roll, baby.
The gang bases themselves at the Greasy Chopper, downtown. And their president?
I'm looking for Big Mitch Baker. You don't look like the law, so that's bought you a minute. You better talk fast.
Mitch Baker, a former Vietnam veteran and serial convict.
Ken Paul said you might be interested in pulling security for a gig he's got set up.
Kid Paul? No wonder he sent you. The last time he was here, he left through the window in nothing but his limey birthday suit.
Are you interested or not?
We only do favors for our own.
Mitch Baker's biker gang don't work for just anyone. They need ultimate respect and trust in place before they do. The gang would never trust someone like Kent Paul. He doesn't have what it takes to be sworn in. Tommy might.
This here's the biggest family of misfits, outcasts, and badasses.
He'd fit right in.
Can you handle a bike?
Can you sit on a stool and drink?
Tommy is no stranger to races. He's raced to earn respect on a number of occasions, to show his cojones to Umberto Robina, and to persuade Hillary King to work for him, but he's never yet raced on a bike. And these angels corner like tankers. Despite the learning curve, he completes the course and impresses enough to be given 2 more tasks. On completion, he would earn their colours and their trust enough to work Love Fist's gig. The race was a test of skill. The next is a test of allegiance. To be a biker, you need a healthy disdain of authority. Tommy next needs to rack up a repair bill for the city to really stick it to the man.
So get out there, grab a bike, and show this city how pissed you are.
With mayhem made, Mitch has one more task.
A local street gang made the mistake of stealing my hog. You get my bike back, you can tell Paul he's got his security.
The street wannabes, as Tommy knows, are not a big gang. Extremely ambitious and none too bright. They worked against the then biggest cocaine baron in the city. But Ricardo Diaz sent his best man to show them a lesson. And here, Mitch Baker does the same. To take back his bike and put them in their place. Tommy prefers the PCJ 600 to the Angel and uses its speed and agility to enter the compound, cut down the gap, reclaim Mitch's bike and escape the pursuing wannabes. Stolen property returned with only a bit of bodywork required.
You did good, Tommy. good to have the old girl back. You tell Kid Paul he'll get his security for the gig. You have my word on that.
But this news has not soothed the band's nerves.
Drop me, man, that psycho's back!
How can that be? He left him in his own blood not days ago.
You didn't kill him, man, and now he's back. Thing is, we need someone to drive the limo we can trust, because that nutter keeps making threats!
The band are due to leave for their final sound check before the performance. Everything is in place, but they only trust Tommy to drive them there. The cloud of the cross-dressing psycho still looms large.
Normally I wouldn't busy myself with driving around a bunch of drunken Scottish bisexuals, but in your case, I'll make an exception.
The venue is only moments away, but time enough for the stereo.
Hey, Tommy, change the tunes, man.
Stick the step on.
It's not what they expect.
Lovefist, your time polluting the airwaves is over. I gave you the chance to be friends, but now I'm giving you the chance to die. You try and slow down, your limousine will explode, along with your big airy asses.
It's unclear how the psycho managed to rig such a bomb, if he did so alone before his demise or had help, but the limo is rigged to blow if the car's speed drops.
Just keep the pedal to the metal.
Tommy can't help with defusing. That's up to the band. He only has to drive.
Hey, the vodka bottle's got wires coming out of it.
That's no vodka, that's boomshine.
Tommy uses his earned knowledge of the city to navigate the longest and straightest roads.
You gotta pull out one of the wires.
Which wire? I should have dumped you lot when I had the chance, man.
Shut it and pull a wire.
Man, we're okay. We ain't been blowing up. Rock and roll, man.
The psycho subverted. The show will go on.
Oh, fist! Oh, fist! Oh, fist!
The stage is set for the night Vice City has been waiting for. Lovefist are ready, and Tommy will forever be a friend of the band. And he can use their limousine anytime. Lovefist are a complicated group, barely held together by their history and love juice. Their future promises to be rocky, fractured, and uncertain. But for tonight, they will enjoy what they really love about being rock royalty. Tommy was offered backstage passes to the show, but he wouldn't see them perform. He was far too busy becoming royalty himself, king of Vice City. Tommy and his team were full of ideas on how to grow their recently acquired empire. The cocaine distribution was back up and running, as was their protection rackets. The other gangs looking to muscle in recognised the Vercetti gang's power and legitimacy, and the chaos that brought about this power was now settling back to order. The cloud of Sonny Forelli and the Liberty City mob was always there, of course, but they were still up north. And here down south, Tommy needed to buy businesses to clean the cash that was starting to flood his safe in the office of his new mansion. The assets purchased up to now, the Boatyard, Cherry Popper's Ice Cream, Sunshine Autos, the Malibu and Pole Position Club were all successful businesses already. Now they made and cleaned cash for the Vercetti gang. They needed more though. Pickings was slim now for ready-made, prosperous enterprises at least. Looking towards the bottom of the barrel, Tommy has an idea. To buy up a failing company. To use it to clean cash, but also to turn it around. Bring it success. That is why Tommy is here, on Prawn Island, with $60,000. To buy Vice City's very own Interglobal Film Studios. Travelling across North Bridge from Vice Point will take you downtown. But before you arrive, halfway across the bridge, Prawn Island serves as a stepping stone. Prawn Island was once prime real estate, with bustling businesses and sprawling mansions, but this is now an area in decline. Much of the power and money in Vice rests with the criminal underworld, but power undulates so frequently. Fortunes are won and lost, and empires are built on sand. Maybe that is the reason for the boarded up mansions, now symbols of the city's slump. A component of Prawn Island's decline is the Interglobal Film Studios. The studio has seen success in its time. It has also changed hands, and the current custodian is Steve Scott. Tommy knew the problems the studio faced before he purchased it. He knew where the excess was, where they were bleeding cash. The problem lay mostly with Steve. Because Steve is an ambitious director with an uncompromising vision to produce spectacular scenes, telling spectacular stories.
Action.
The trouble was that Interglobal only really made pornos.
Whoa! Now that's big.
12 inches.
Cut! Who is this idiot? You! Why are you in my space? Why?
What is all this crap? Aliens,
Baby,
fishing poles. Who's ever seen a shark that big? All this stuff's gotta go.
This is my art.
Tommy is here to trim the fat. If anyone can rein Steve Scott in, it's him.
Look, you pompous asshole. I own you now. I own all of this. We're gonna turn this place around. We're gonna be making some changes around here and start making some real money.
Actually,
I'm gonna make you rich. But first, we're gonna need some good-looking broads.
yeah, girls are fine, but you, wow.
Tommy doesn't claim to be an expert when it comes to pornographic motion pictures, but he figures if there is any money to be spent, then it should be spent on talented girls that look good naked, not elaborate film sets and convoluted plots.
Geez, like anyone ever watch movies about fish?
Tommy only knows 2 girls in the city. One he knows well and the other in passing, but both would be perfect for the studio's next production. This is Candice Shand. The world knows her as Candy Sucks. She's Vice City's eminent pornographic actress, and between shoots, she is the city's most expensive escort. Tommy, travelling downtown, has made sure to purposefully bump into her to make his proposal.
Yo, Candy, I'm looking for movie talent. You interested?
Sure. But you'd have to talk to my agent.
Agents can get notoriously aggravated if you are to approach their client directly. Their 10% is very important to them. No more middlemen. Candy is now free to work for Interglobal.
Tommy, be careful. My implants aren't insured yet.
Candy is a real coup for the studio. Her name and brand alone is enough to sell any adult film, but Tommy knows another girl with raw talent and enthusiasm who is sure will be a future star. He knows she enjoys strip clubs and knows the band Love Fists were more than impressed with her work. On the way back to Interglobal, Tommy makes a stop.
Hey, Mercedes.
Hey, Tommy.
You interested in doing some movies?
Of course, as long as it's cheap and sleazy.
You're hired. Get in.
They have the talent. They have the set, the lights, the cameras. If Tommy can rein in Steve, then this can work.
Hey, Tommy, you coming in for a warm-up?
Maybe later, babe.
Tommy leaves them to it. His other assets need attention too. Those that he's whipped into shape, he still needs to look in on from time to time. But Tommy can't stay away too long. Steve needs to be managed.
How's filming going, Steve?
Tomorrow we're going on location to shoot the boat scenes.
Boat scenes?
The fishermen are in the throes of passion when the giant shark comes in.
What'd I say about the giant shark? Just keep the cameras pointed at the poontang.
Okay. Hey, Tommy, you guys gotta try, right?
At least the new hires are working out.
Candy is a natural. And that new girl, she's insatiable. She went through half the cast and crew before I even took a light reading.
Budgets are tamed. Shooting is on track. Tommy's first production credit is nearly ready for the world. But the world needs to be ready. Interglobal needs to build anticipation. The money saved on sharks is to go into marketing.
Get those flyers printed up?
Yeah, but nobody's gonna let us distribute those things. I mean, they're just too, they're unimaginative.
You don't worry about that. I've got my own ideas for distribution.
Okay. Hey, Candy, in my trailer.
Tommy is yet to sell off the studio's unnecessary assets. The legacy of Steve's vision and the mainstream movies that were shot here in the past. The battleships, spaceships, alien ships, all surplus to requirements. But before he does, the studio's seaplane can be put to good use. The imagery on the flyers is far too salacious to be handed out on the street. Tommy can bypass this risk by dropping them from the air, and in doing so, create further buzz. Experiential marketing, more bang for their buck. Tommy targets the working men of Viceport and the airport, right up to the suited men downtown, all with hard-earned cash to spend on Interglobal's next movie. Everything is set, but just as Tommy was enjoying clear skies, some unexpected turbulence shows up.
Okay, what's the problem now?
Congressman Alex Shrub has jumped on the pre-election bandwagon. He's going after the Puritan vote.
Just keep going, keep going.
Tommy first saw Candy on Juan Cortez's boat. On that boat, she was with her best client, Congressman Alex Shrub.
Everyone knows politicians lie and steal and cheat, but at least with me in charge, you know I look good and I have a very supercilious manner.
Shrub is known to the electorate as strong on crime, tax breaks, and has managed to pass off his womanizing and philandering as cheeky and endearing.
I'm a man of the people. Vote Shrub. You'll get richer, and you won't feel guilty about it.
Rumors are he's going to support measures to restrict, shall we say, the more fleshy aspects of this nation's great entertainment industry.
Okay, all right.
Any restrictions on pornography would kill this business. Before Tommy's even started, he needs to take action.
Candy! You know Shrub. You guys get up to anything kinky?
Oh, yeah.
All right there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Alex Shrub is open about his promiscuity, but very careful to guard the details of his liaisons. His supporting demographic don't know that Shrub has unusual inclinations.
Cut!
After wrapping for the day, Tommy follows Candy from a distance to her appointment with the congressman. They are to rendezvous in the pool on a roof terrace of a penthouse in Vice Point. Tommy positions himself across the street with a zoom lens. He was on that terrace not weeks ago, dealing with another problem in Gonzales. Much has happened since then.
Hey!
Candy gets to work.
Candy, could you call me Martha?
Oh, Alex. I mean Martha. Whatever you say.
Tommy takes his snaps of the stocking Shrub, takes to the air, and takes leave of the congressman's pursuing security. If these shots ever came out, Alex Shrub's carefully cultivated voting base would turn on him, and his ambitions for the Oval Office would end abruptly. Tommy has him. The Vercetti gang's businesses won't suffer from political interference for a while. The night of the film's premiere draws near. On time, on budget, but opening night could do with one more boost. Tommy meets with Steve to make plans.
Honey, can you please keep the Andacon in the shot? He costs more per hour than you do.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
I was thinking we need some kind of big stunt to really promote the launch. Something that will make a real impact on this city. You got any ideas?
Steve comes up with just the thing.
In the old days, they used to have gala events, stars, limos, the night sky crisscrossed with searchlights.
Searchlights. I got an idea.
Tommy knows of the perfect apparatus downtown atop a building that will create just the stir. But it will be unconscionably hard to get to. It will take all his courage and biking proficiency to reach. But reach he will. For the lustful minds of Vice City, they only need one word to pique their interest. In the bars that night, and as they clock in the morning, Candy sucks, and her new production is all they'll be talking about. The premiere's success is assured, as is Tommy's success as Vice City's premier gang leader. Interglobal Film Studios is another glorious string to the Vercetti gang's bow. Steve was crestfallen when Tommy came and started restricting his creative range. But with his name now in lights alongside Candy's, he sees the wisdom in Tommy's savvy business decisions.
You're a marvel. I'm a marvel. They love us. We are rewriting the record books, pal. I can put my dad in a home and tell him to shut up. He never believed in me. And I just wanted to say, it's a pleasure to have met you. I love you, baby. Don't you go changing on me, you hear?
There's no danger of that. Tommy has a singular vision, to grow his young empire to an enviable mass. Tommy will now set off for his next business idea. Across the water from Prawn Island, through downtown streets, into Little Haiti, to Kaufmann cabs.
Which gang are you?
Well, I'm not part of any gang, actually.
That was a lie. Not so much a lie as a lack of self-awareness or appreciation of who he is now. Who Tommy Vercetti has become. He toppled Diaz because he had to. He assembled a team to work for him because he had to. He employed soldiers to protect them and their assets because he had to. Without even giving it a name, Tommy had assembled a gang, and with this gang, Tommy was taking over Vice City, buying up businesses and property to capitalize on the torrents of cash flowing from the street. Without meaning to, Tommy is the boss of a gang without a name. Tommy is now in the control room of one of the city's longest standing taxi firms, in the presence of one of the city's longest serving taxi dispatchers. This is Doris.
What's your goddamn name, kid?
Tommy had just bought this firm, and he didn't expect such a firm hand at the helm. But he would be grateful to Doris, because she tells it how it is.
Vercetti. Tommy Vercetti.
She says what she sees, and even if Tommy hasn't had the time or self-reflection to see it, Doris can see it.
Our new management, the Vercetti gang, is gonna make sure we get no trouble, capiche?
The Vercetti gang. Tommy liked the sound of that. And the Vercetti gang were now the proud owners of Kaufmann cabs. Tommy was used to arriving at a new business in the city and laying down the law. He prided himself on being able to evaluate the situation quickly and reacting quickly to put it straight or helping the enterprise to do more. He'd done it at Interglobal Film Studios with Steve Scott, The Boatyard with Dwayne and Jethro, Cherry Poppers with Maud Hanson. But there's no telling Doris what to do.
Guess you're the new owner. Anywho, I guess you better get on with the things are gonna change around here crap. Maybe threaten one of the drivers. Go steady on Ted over there. He's just had his hernia fixed.
Well, yeah, things are gonna change around here, lady.
Doris has seen it all before. Seen mobbed up guys come in to use the firm like Tommy will to clean money. They tried to implement new efficiencies as well as trying to squeeze more from them, but Doris ran this shop pretty tightly. Any problems they had were not to be found in this building. They were found outside on the streets. There were many competing firms in the Vice City area. Sunnyside Taxis and Mean Streets were well advertised, and the latter had an office just down the road in Little Havana. But Vice City Cabs is the biggest firm of them all. They have more cars, more men, and the business tactics to stay in front. Firms like Kaufmann were doomed to stagnate as they don't have the muscle to compete. All they can do is duck and weave through the city, staying out of their way and picking up fares where they can. No owner the firm has had has been able to overcome Vice City Cabs.
So this is how it's worked in the past. We run the firm as usual. If we get any trouble from rival firms, you beat the crap out of them. Then they beat the crap out of us. Then you beat the crap out of them, etc., etc. You got it?
Yeah, I guess.
Just grab a taxi from the garage if you feel like jumping in.
Tommy appreciated inheriting a straightforward, blunt, tell-it-how-it-is figure in Doris. A woman after his own heart. She has and will do well with the day-to-day. And despite its failure in the past, Tommy couldn't think of a better plan than what Doris had laid out. The firm needs to be protected from rivals. But despite VC Cab's size, they've never come up against a guy like Tommy. Tommy needed to assess what Kaufmann Cabs was up against. He needed to get out on the streets.
Okay, we got a high-class fare and he's picking up from Starfish Island. Any takers?
Tommy here, I'll take it.
Tommy had driven a cab before, when he first arrived in Vice, as a way to keep his head above water, while looking for Sonny Forelli's drugs. He liked it. Its simplicity. He could switch off and just drive. In the few times he'd done it, he'd not experienced any problems with rival firms. Tommy knew the streets of Vice all too well, and knew Starfish Island best of all. He lived there, in his new mansion. He waits for his fare just across the street.
This is my fare. Back off, asshole.
Vice City Cabs. How did they know about the call? This is where Tommy can shine. Show Doris that the plan can work with the right people. Tommy takes back his fare and delivers him safely to the airport. It's doubtful he'll be a repeat customer, but Vice City Cabs are on notice. Kaufmann Cabs are no longer an easy mark. Kaufmann Cabs are situated prominently in Little Haiti. Clad in the colour of their yellow cars, the building stands out and above the run-down businesses that surround it. Tommy needs stay clear of the Haitian gang members that often line the streets though. He's not too welcome here since he scuppered their narcotic production. Inside, Doris had cultivated a haven against the trials they face outside. A place for the drivers to care for their cars and relax. This is a good business. It deserves to thrive and grow in peace. Tommy aims to make that happen.
Going all cars, we're losing fares all over town. What's with you guys?
VC Cabs keep beating us to it. They just got too many cars. We can't compete.
Mr. Vercetti, if you're out there listening in, you want to put some VC Cabs out of action before we go bust.
VC Cabs, it seems, have doubled down on the offensive against Kaufmann Cabs, muscling in, stealing fares, bullying their drivers. Time for Tommy to make them really understand who they're dealing with. He takes a car, collects the tools, and starts the hunt. A Vice City cab is not hard to find on the streets. A Kaufmann cab is classic looking and distinctive. A VC cab is modern and bang up to date. He finds the first on their own turf in Little Haiti. One out of action. The second just outside his very own boatyard in Viceport. They really were treading on the Vercetti gang's toes now. The last for today, he catches up with at the profit centre of any cab firm, at Escobar International Airport. By removing some of their cars, Tommy has weakened some of their power. But he also knows that anyone, any figure or firm that has enjoyed power for any length of time won't lie down and watch it be taken. To stop this, Tommy needs to crush them. Crush their spirit, take their souls. Or this cycle will never end. But before he can make a plan, pick the time, pick the battleground, VC Cabs picks one for him.
Car 13, we got a missed car test. Asked for you especially.
Okay, I got it. Car 13, out.
VC Cabs and their owner have done their homework. They know all about Tommy Vercetti, who he consorts with, what he is capable of, and they had a great plan to use that against him. Tommy was excited to see Mercedes again. Her father had requested he look in on her from time to time, so this was a good opportunity to do so. She helped him out with the studios and the band Love Fist. They were friends. Tommy didn't even question why she was all the way out in a secluded backlot, tucked away in Viceport.
No sign of Mercedes.
He didn't even question that it could be a trap. VC Cab's finest turn out in numbers to take down Tommy, using the tactics long used in their company mandate to muscle out fares and to take down the competition. Tommy uses his earned driving skills to evade and his earned gunmanship to disable where he can. But his steed is weakening, and the next assault, the battalion waiting on the hill is about to enter the fray. Except it's not a battalion. It's one man, the boss of VC Cabs, in his special weapon, his zebra cab. Faster, stronger, and chomping at the bit to take back his empire.
It's time for Kaufmann's Cab's guardian angel to eat some fender.
Tommy had not the muscle or durability to take him head on. He needs to evade, yet keep close, to mitigate his power and in turn weaken him with firepower. When the joust inevitably transitions to ground combat, the owner of VC Cabs, wielding a katana, was no match for Tommy. Just like he did with other gangs in Vice City, he does so with Vice City Cabs. Tommy vanquishes his rival and pushes them into the dirt. Doris and her taxi drivers would get no more trouble from VC Cabs. The streets are calmer now. Fares are plentiful. Kaufmann Cabs can now flourish, grow in numbers and clean bundles of cash for their new owners, the Vercetti gang. Tommy picks up his end every day to add to his burgeoning empire and from time to time takes his new addition to the stable out for a ride. Tommy's very own zebra cab. You can watch the full main story of GTA Vice City next in the links below, as well as find a playlist with other bedtime lore videos from other games. Like the video if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and consider supporting the hundreds of hours these videos take by pressing join or the Patreon link below. Thank you to my elite supporters on the screen now. I'm the Patient Wolf, and this has been 7 stories in the world of Grand Theft Auto Vice City.